Rescuers battle to save hundreds of people stranded on Mount Everest. Mount Everest, the roof of the world. Towering at 8,848 meters, 29,029 feet, it beckons adventurers, mountaineers, and dreamers alike. But even here, nature's fury can strike with terrifying suddenness. In early October 2025, an unexpected and brutal snowstorm trapped hundreds of trekkers on Everest's Tibetan slopes. The scale and intensity of this event have shaken the climbing world. In this episode, we dive deep into the extreme weather conditions, the human stories behind the headlines, and what this incident reveals about climate, forecasting, and safety in the high Himalayas. October is typically considered a stable window for trekking in the Everest region. The monsoon has retreated, skies clear, and climbers enjoy relatively calm conditions. But this year was different. During China's Golden Week holiday, an influx of tourists visited the Everest scenic area in Tibet. On Friday evening, snow began to fall, relentlessly. By Saturday, deep drifts, freezing temperatures, and powerful storms descended upon trekkers already camped at elevations above 4,900 meters, 16,000 feet. Communication lines failed. Trails became slippery and obscured. Many tents collapsed under the weight of snow. One trekker, Dong Shuchong, described it as the most extreme weather I've ever faced in all my hiking experiences, without question. Another recalled, snow piled up so fast we had to clear it every 90 minutes, otherwise tents would collapse. At altitudes above 4,900 m, oxygen is already scarce, temperatures hover near or below freezing, and storms carry lethal risks of hypothermia, frostbite, and disorientation. In this latest storm, some tents were buried under waist-high drifts. Paths were obstructed by deep snow, making even descent treacherous. Trekkers reported not sleeping, constantly battling cold, clearing snow, and worrying about being entombed alive. From the testimony of Chen Gushwang, part of an 18-member group, it was so wet and cold in the mountains, and hypothermia was a real risk. The guide said he had never encountered such weather in October, and it happened all too suddenly. Rescue teams faced enormous obstacles. Snow accumulating faster than it could be cleared. Blocking of communication. Limited access in steep, dangerous terrain. The rescue scale, challenges, and outcomes. Authorities launched one of the largest rescue efforts ever on Everest's Tibetan side. By Sunday and Monday, about 350 hikers had made their way down, reaching Tsudong, a small valley town roughly 30 miles from Everest's base area. At least 200 more remained stranded, but were in contact with rescuers. One death was reported. A hiker succumbed to hypothermia and altitude-related complications in Qinghai province. In the Nepal region, heavy rains triggered landslides and floods, causing additional fatalities, at least 47 reported, and damage to infrastructure. Rescuers used teams of local guides, villagers, and support staff to clear trails, escort groups, and ferry supplies. The Everest scenic area was temporarily closed, ticket sales suspended to prevent further risk. Some trekkers mentioned that even with proper gear, the storm's severity was beyond what they had anticipated. Why this mattered: lessons, climate prediction. 1. Unpredictability at altitude. Mountains like Everest exist in delicate atmospheric balance. Storms can form quickly, driven by local convection, shifting winds, and moisture. What is often considered a safe window can become treacherous in an instant. 2. Climate change and emerging risks. Studies have shown that warming temperatures and altered precipitation patterns increase the volatility of mountain weather systems. Glacial melt, changing snowlines, and altered monsoon patterns all contribute to greater unpredictability. 14. Such changes may push what once were rare events into more frequent occurrences. 3. The margin for error is razor thin. At high altitude, small miscalculations become life-threatening. Delays in descent, underestimating storm growth, or trusting outdated forecasts can become fatal. 4. Need for improved forecasting and communication. High-altitude meteorology is still an evolving field. Better real-time data, mesh weather stations, satellite monitoring, and local sensor networks are crucial to provide early warnings to camps and trekkers. 5. Risk management and regulation. Events like this raise questions about crowding, expedition planning, and safety protocols. Should more stringent controls be placed on when and how many trekkers can roam these high zones, especially during holiday surges? Closing, reflection, and call to action. This recent storm on Everest was a stark reminder. Nature always holds the upper hand, even at the world's highest reaches. What seemed like a safe season turned into a life-and-death ordeal. For the trekkers who survived, it was a lesson in humility and respect for these giants we attempt to climb. For the climbing community, a wake-up call. To take forecasts seriously. To invest in better mountain weather systems. And to reconsider how we balance adventure and safety in fragile extreme environments. If you found this story compelling, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more deep dives into extreme environments, human survival, and the changing face of our planet's wild places. Thank you for joining Discovery Learning Hub on this journey to the heights, where the air is thin and the storms sometimes are beyond human expectation.